Right.
Normally some sound plays over this. I'm sure some... Well, 40 seconds.
The white zone is for loading and unloading only. There is no parking in the white zone.
30 seconds. There is no loading or unloading in the blue zone. The white zone is for unloading and unloading only.
The red zone is for chanting and dance. Do not do chanting or dance in any other zone.
I love this now. It's the big pause. Is it broke? Will it work? Who knows? This definitely not... Normally it has audio. Oh. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's edition of Rikers Beard Live. You find us a little short-handed this evening. Sadly, we're missing Carl, but as ever, I have my deck to my aunt, Mr. James Didden. How the devil are you, James?
I'm all right, Richard. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Very good, thank you. A little tired. I've been doing manual labour this weekend, and it's the type I dislike. The labour kind. I've been painting Pebble Dash. It's really is soul destroying. There's not a good word for it. I'm afraid it's totally soul destroying.
Were you painting each bit of Pebble Dash individually using a little artist brush?
No. For that, I'd have dipped. I'd have just dipped. In fact, when the guy did it, why couldn't he have dipped the stones before flinging them up? Well, anyway.
Or mixed in the paint with the stones when he was spraying them on the wall.
Either way, it's achieved now. I've done good. So it's been mainly a manual labour weekend for me. How about you, chap?
I'm trying to remember what I did yesterday. I genuinely can't think. I think I took the kids out somewhere, but it can't have been stressful. So yeah.
I'll tell you what you didn't do.
What?
You didn't rewatch Section 31, did you?
I considered very carefully whether I would rewatch Section 31 and whether it was worthy of a further hour and a half of my time. And I'm afraid I came to the conclusion that it probably wasn't, and that I could always go and watch some paint drying or something. So yeah.
Well, I've thought long and hard about our experience with Section 31, which I'd like to go into, and also a topic I'd like to speak to on this show as well. So, first of all, I've been thinking a lot about Section 31, and I thought of some really good positives from it. And also, I have, and I'd like to speak a little bit later on the show about the use of artificial intelligence for content making, and such and so forth. And I'll tell you for why when we move on to that. But for the time being, Section 31, James. Every cloud has a silver lining.
Really?
Well, actually, before we go into let's have a quick hello. Hey, Gary, how you doing? Hey, Christoph, how are you? Good evening, ladies. Chris, hello.
Chris, we will get you on one night. It was a bit sort of iffy as to whether we'd even be on this week, but we'll have you on sometime.
Hello, James. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, James.
So Mark straight in there. Hello, Chris. Yeah, so he watched it again. That was brave of you, Chris. And you thought it was pants the second time round, and thought we put it into Vault 101. We couldn't put it into Vault 101, could we?
Well, we didn't do Airlock 101 last week, did we?
We did.
Did we? Did we do
Yeah.
it? And then, I mean, last Sunday was something I think I want to blot out of my memory. Apart from that delicious pizza that we had as we watched.
I'm sure we did. I'm sure we did the show, didn't we?
We did a reaction show because remember
Did
I
we
came
do
to your
Vault?
house. We watched section 31, then we went online afterward for about half an hour.
Did we do Vault 101? And did we can't have put section 31 into it because it's the discovery rule.
Yeah, so
I'm
I
not
can't
sure.
remember.
No, I can't remember. No, it was a really nice pizza.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah, lovely pizza. Hey Andrew, how you doing? Hey Victoria, how are you? And we all put it into Airlock 101. Yes, we did.
Okay, I mean, look, there's no doubt it deserves to have been airlocked. And,
Now every cloud has a silver lining. Okay, so hear me out. Hear me out. Let's this is the first Star Trek film that hasn't featured the Enterprise. This is the first Star Trek film that's straight to VHS release.
VHS?
Yeah, well, straight to video equivalent. So what we've done is they've tried a concept for Star Trek, and they've discovered exactly what people don't want. Now, no, wait, hear me out, because although it was terrible, a lot of people wanted Discovery. Why? I couldn't myself, but there's been very little advocacy. In fact, there's been no advocacy at all for Section 31. So, we've got a new Star Trek series in development at the moment. We've got the new Starfleet Academy series.
Yes.
So you'd like to think they will learn from this, and they will simply bring in more cowbell.
I gotta have more cowbell.
Gotta have more cowbell. So if you're gonna test something and see if it sticks against a wall, they've done a straight-to-video release that didn't have the Enterprise in it, that we can all pleasantly kind of just forget about. That genuinely, if you just scrubbed over the Star Trek name, you wouldn't know it was a Star Trek film anyway. So I think that the flip side of that is if...
What he says is true. Everything he says is true.
The flip side of that is, we didn't make it enough like Discovery. That's why people didn't like it. That could happen. That could happen. That could happen.
I'm going to blow your mind now.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about Discovery. I'm going to talk about season 1 when Jason Isaacs was still in it. And I'm going to remind you that I think last week I told you I'd rewatched the last 3 episodes of season 1 of Discovery because that's where they crossed into the mirror universe and met Emperor Giorgio. And I thought actually those 3 episodes were really quite good. And I remember that there were episodes of Discovery that weren't bloody awful when it wasn't all about Michael Burnham.
Yeah, I mean, back when they concentrated on having sort of plot and passable dialogue, it was quite a reasonable show, wasn't it?
And less crying.
We've got someone here that's going to put a fly in the ointment. Mark says he enjoyed it enough to watch it again. There was something missing. It needed more, but so much negative towards it. They may as well have had Michael Burnham in it at the end, crying. Well, yeah.
Well,
Genuinely,
Mark was deserved. This is not just piling onto a bandwagon saying it was rubbish. We watched it.
I am genuinely pleased that Mark took some enjoyment from it.
Out of interest, tell us in the comments, both of our viewers, out of 10, where let's say 1 is the lowest and 10 is the highest, what score would you give Section 31 out of 10?
And while we're doing that, we'll just do a little favour for Chris, who's requesting this crying sketch. We've not done that for a while, so here's some of my best work. Okay. I do enjoy that one. So that's for you, Chris. Hey, Linda. You're late.
Hello.
Christoph says, bad film titles are common, particularly when translated for other markets. Oh, yes, there's several ones that don't translate well into German. And don't forget the South African gap filler.
Cork. Yes.
The Cork, yes.
Yeah.
But not only the film Bohemian Rhapsody should have been called... I'm not sure where you're going with that, Christoph.
That sort of film. Oh,
yeah.
there was a film called Bohemian.
Okay.
Actually, was it called Bohemian Rhapsody or was it called just
Good
Queen?
God. There's some incredible... Look. 5 to 6 out of 10. Good God. But 4 out of 10. 7.5 out of... Were you people on cocaine? What's wrong? Honestly. What?
Are you messing with us?
I think someone's deliberately tugging our oyster. They must be. They absolutely must be. We all gone insane. Would appear our viewers have been at the toilet duck again. Thank God, Richard. Thank goodness. Some sanity. Please give us your score for the section 31 out of 10. Hey, Louise. Oh, Louise, some sanity. Fantastic. 1 out of 10.
There you go. And Louise is
1
a
out of 10.
Discovery fan.
Yeah. Betty says a mere 2 out of 10. Only partial insanity from Betty.
I think that's terribly generous on Betty's part.
So if you think if they will actually respond to the critique on how well this has been received, and specifically how much money it's made them, then hopefully they will not go down that route again. And we can no, but remember, it's the first ever Star Trek film that's not had the Enterprise in it. So we can have now a different branch of films, the Enterprise films and Section 31. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, was the Enterprise in Star Trek 3? Oh, yes, it was at the end, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, thank goodness.
Star Trek 3, it gets destroyed, and Star Trek
4, it's right at the end.
New Enterprise, yeah, right at the very end, and then it breaks down just out of shot.
I very nearly cocked that one up, but I think I got away with it.
Yeah, no, I was thinking exactly the same thing as you were.
Oh, look, some more insanity here from Alan. What a surprise.
By the way, Alan, yes, this is your prize here.
Yes. A signed copy. Iso streaming film is more successful than a cinema release. Richard gives it 1 out of 10, and that's for so he's not watched it. I can't blame you. Mark's been at the Flash Cleaner, so 6 out of 10.
He saved everyone.
He'll save every one of us. So there's my positives from Discovery.
Section 31.
Section 31. I will admit that to anyone involved in the writing, directing, or possibly even starred in it, possibly my critique is not constructive, and they probably won't want to hear it.
If you're the chap that played the Vulcan, I would strenuously recommend you don't go anywhere near Ireland ever.
I'd stick to filling in gaps with your cork. Yes, I got that right, didn't I? I pegged him as South African. Yes. I remember that from last week. What a score that was! That was outstanding. So yeah, so there's. I think. Are we done with Discovery now? Would anyone? Are we done with Section 31? Or does anyone in the comments would you like us to discuss or possibly touch on anything more to it, or can we consign it to gone now?
I mean, does anybody want to see a sequel to that?
This is your last chance to have your say on Section 31, and then we simply, I think we'll just not refer to it again.
Pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so while you're waiting on that, so Lower Decks is completely done now, isn't it? That unless they suddenly go, do you know what? We could have made 10 seasons of Lower Decks for what we spent on Section 31.
I'd rather they didn't.
Interesting
Yep,
thing.
we're done. Okay.
Do you remember the story that when they did the first episodes of TNG, they wrote a whole scene just to be in engineering because they were told if you haven't had these sets built for the pilot, you can't have them. So they had to basically contrive a reason to use the engineering set. And it occurred to me, if they do something similar now and say to them, well, any sets you need will be built for the pilot on the basis they'll be used throughout the rest of the series. I don't know what they really used. I mean, the space station seemed to be quite a big set, but everything else was just around deserts and things, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean it
Or
the bar
it was just like a load of junk.
But the bar was quite a big set and quite expansive, and that was Giorgio's bar that she's keeping. So if that was going to be like their headquarters,
part of the space station, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's I guess that's what they would keep if they were to sort of evolve into the A team. I don't know. Just okay.
Lower decks.
God, I do enjoy that people enjoy it. I must get round to finish watching it when I've got absolutely nothing else to do.
Well, you sat through Section 31 last week, so you could watch, 4 episodes of Lower Decks within that space of time.
It's very kind of you to pop in and say hi, Louise. But remember, you can watch us on catch up, but please don't text us because your vote won't count and you may still be charged. So, I wanted to talk about something. I wanted to talk about artificial intelligence or AI created content, images and videos and such like. So we've got
a out there, isn't there?
We have, and we've
every day.
And this may somehow give you an inkling towards my feelings on it when I play this stink, so we can discuss it. I mean, I don't like it. I don't like the images that are created, and I don't like the little video snippets and 3 or 4 sort of second clips of things that are being created with AI. And that's not to say not all of it is rubbish. Some of it's fairly good. But my concern is it's kind of I don't want the medium of film to go the same way with the music industry, because we don't get originality in the music industry anymore. We get regurgitated stuff that algorithms decide that we're supposed to like, that most people will like, that most people who have time to listen to music listen to, which tends to be, teenage children. So when you're relying on artificial intelligence that's been programmed to come up with the most popular way of something being that way, you might appeal to the masses, but you will always sacrifice that for any originality. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yes.
What are your thoughts, James?
Well, it comes down to this, doesn't it? Can the computer do something that the human mind cannot? And at the moment, all it can really do is regurgitate what you put into it and refine it and change it and cut it about. So,
like pop music now, like Taylor Swift.
Exactly. So, I mean, you could argue that for the last 20 years, a lot of pop music has just been the same junk being continuously turned around, and quite often as a result of TV talent shows, ironically, where they cover other people's stuff.
I mean, in the music industry, there's kind of like a turning point. It was 94 and 95 when auto-tuners came into the mix, and then god-awful band Linkin Park, which were meant to be a rock band, started using them, and then it was okay for all rock music. But that's kind of like the tipping point in the music industry where it led to it not being about the music, and now it really is all the kind of music you hear and content is AI algorithm picked out as to what's going to succeed and what's not going to succeed. And I wonder if now the processing's so good that they're gonna turn over that content creation for the medium of film as well, and TV. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's easier than employing a person. You just click a button and it will make you money. But does that mean we're gonna? I mean, are we kind of like saying, well, if we're happy for that to happen, we're going to lose all originality? That's what I'm worried about. Nothing's going to push the boundary. They're going to be too scared to create something that's not been done with AI because it might fail. We'll have to go back to puppet shows. That's my worry. That's my concern. I feel it's going down a route where it's going to be so easy to create content with AI that the talent, when you take away the talent, no one's going to push the boundaries of originality. Unless, I suppose, you can tell the AI to try and be original, but I think personally it's something I don't like. I don't like the AI created. And what got me thinking about this is it really gets on my tits when fans make fake posters for films and TV series that are never going to exist. Like, what was one I saw the other day for?
Was it the X-Files one?
The Captain 7 series, yeah. Paramount Captain. I mean, I'm not being funny. She's a very likable character, but she's never got the acting skills or the gravitas to pull off of being a lead in a series. It's a fucking joke. But they spent so much time making these posters, or did they? Or have they just asked AI to draw them a Jerry Ryan poster and put it up there, and it gets like 7,000 likes, and before you know it, it's got so popular on social media, they actually will give Jerry Ryan a series, and it will absolutely bomb because she's not a good enough lead actress. So it's going to be a terrible mistake.
So I think what you're saying is we should actively create something ourselves so that we get something that gets massive organic growth, and it's something we want, and then CBS are forced to make it.
I don't see that we can't create something with Lego that other people do with AI.
Right.
It would just be not as good. But we could use Lego for all the special effects. So I've got a green screen, so we can do that. And we can all the sets, we can build out of Lego. All the ships, we can build out of Lego. We can build everything out of Lego.
I do enjoy a bit of Lego.
That's what made me think of it. I can't do Lego because I'm not a child, but I know you very much enjoy regressing. So if you want to build us,
I'm 25 this weekend. That cost me £6 on AliExpress. It was great,
fantastic. So we should possibly make our own Rikers Beard AI Star Trek episode of the Rikers Beard, and maybe we should challenge someone to get AIs if they can make a better one.
So we're going to make it with AI, and then we're going to get someone else to try and beat it with other AI. Is that right?
No. We're going to make it with our AI, as in me and you, and Lego.
Right. Okay.
And then we'll change someone else to do it.
Let me see if I've got something Lego here. What have I got handy? Let's see. Just a Batmobile there at the moment.
I didn't mean right now.
Yeah.
Like not this instance. We'll have to put some planning into this. It certainly can't be done in February.
February. Now, Richard, dry February.
Yes.
You're doing it.
That's right, yes.
Good man. Only 4 weeks. It's not a leap year.
two of the days are over already.
Yeah.
Now, jumping back into the comments, Chris says needs more prodigy. I think I've
cowbell, Chris.
Yeah, cowbell. Yeah.
Cowbell.
David Ray Wilton. He feels sorry for Section 31. It was a made-for-TV movie on the budget of 2 episodes. It's Strangely Wells and had an Oscar winner in it. But it was not made for Trekkie. They are targeting new blood as we are all getting old.
Yes, what David is pointing out is that CBS are worried the fan base is sort of older people who enjoyed things like TNG, Voyager and DS9, and that they aren't attracting fresh fandom in, so that they've got to change direction to achieve it. Unfortunately, the direction that they did choose to try and achieve that was hopeless.
Well, James, we watched it with my two children, and what did they make of it? Do you remember?
They thought it was atrocious.
Utter rubbish, with words. Anyway, let's not talk about Section 31 anymore.
Utter shash.
AI will always look, sound artificial. It's disturbing. It's getting better. It's getting better. Could AI done a better job of Section? I wouldn't be surprised if AI did do the job of Section 31. There's AI written books, and they are piss poor. Not read one. Vicky is very worried it will be overused.
I mean, it may surprise everybody to know that actually this evening's episode of Rikers Beard Live is entirely generated by AI, because Richard and I are in the pub.
So here's the thing. I've been reading some Adrian Tchaikovsky. There's a very good chance that we might be living in a simulation anyway. This could all be AI. It's a very good chance. Because you wouldn't know.
Glitch in the Matrix, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly that. David says, bring on the Star Trek Lego. I hope it's true for Black Friday this year.
Well, this is the rumour that there's going to be an Enterprise D big Lego set.
Oh, okay.
It may well be.
Chris says, could we put it in Airlock 101 if it wasn't good?
Well, anything, Chris, as you know, can go into Airlock 101, provided it's not Discovery, because that's too easy. That's what's called an open goal. You can't have that.
Vicky says, dry February, my condolences. Thank you very much. James says, well done, Richard. Thank you very much. Alan's come up with some lunacy. It's the Matrix theory of reality. And Richard says, is this better than life from Red Dwarf? Well, kind of, yeah. If you've ever had the chance to read Adrian Tchaikovsky's Children of Time trilogy, they're outstanding science fiction books. They do push the boundaries of, I guess, it forces you to reevaluate your place in the universe as a species and how you interact with the rest of the universe, and kind of puts it into a very unique perspective that I don't think's been done probably since Philip K. Dick's Blade Runner, actually. It's very, very, very... you can't read it after you've had a drink. Yeah, you need to be quite sober and focused. But there are mutated, highly intelligent spiders in it, so that's pretty cool. You know, that's good.
Spiders are always cool, aren't they?
Yeah. So, we've covered Section 31. We've covered AI. Anything else we need to discuss, James?
What have we got left coming out this year? So, have we got Strange New Worlds anytime soon? When's that due out?
I don't know. Alan will tell us shortly.
Okay. How long is it till we have a convention appearance?
I believe our next one is in Portsmouth.
So that's the May one. That's on Star Wars Day. So that is, we've got all of February, March and April, 3 and a bit months away.
Yep. I've been working on I just thought of this. We're going to be doing the Rikers Beard musical interlude sing-along. And so everyone knows
that... You'll use auto-tune for that, Richard. You know, I mean, there is the UN War Crimes Tribunal injunction on me singing in public.
I never have used an auto-tuner. I never will use an auto-tuner.
Well, you might, but what about me?
You're not using an auto-tuner. Your triangle sounds perfect. But what I did do was...
I sing like Shatner. Watch this. Ready? Rocket Man.
I created a playlist of all the songs that we're going to be doing on Spotify. So if I share it into this group chat, then people can listen to the playlist, so they can practice the singing along, ready for when we're into Portsmouth. So,
okay.
There you go. So there we are, everyone. Here's the Rikers Beard musical interlude sing-along set list for May the 4th in Portsmouth, if you'd like to have a listen.
There it is.
There it is. David says, off to be the wizard. is a good living and an AI universe set of audiobooks. But was it written by AI? That's the thing. Vicky says, look forward to seeing you at Portsmouth Comic Con. Yes, we're very much looking forward to seeing you too. And the rest of the Trekkie girls, the rest of your
also a big night
staff.
out around the town.
Not that big, James. I'm getting on. A nice meal, a nice steak. I haven't had a good steak in ages. Strange Worlds Season 3 is expected to spring to summer. Nothing official yet. Also, pre-production Season 4 has started already.
They should really release it quickly so we all forget about Section 31.
Yeah. And James Scott is just cool. Cunningham. So what's happening after... So Portsmouth, we're there for... Oh, you'll have to remind me. We're there for 2 days?
2 days. It's a Saturday and a Sunday. So we're there for that.
And we're travelling up on the Friday, coming back on the Monday?
That's the plan. So we'll build the set Friday, strike the set Sunday, drive back Monday.
Okay. Oh, so it's arrive and build and... Yeah, okay, cool. That sounds good to me. If anyone's about in Portsmouth...
harder than dismantling is always the rule.
It is, and if anyone's about in Portsmouth and would like to lend a hand, we could. Or the more hands, the better. We could always use more help. And then following that, I believe we've got a home event, haven't we?
Yeah, that's the Manston event, which is in June. That's about a month later, just down the road. So we're waiting to hear from Manston about whether they're letting us have some space in one of their hangars to do some work on the set.
Yeah, otherwise it's June. So I'm trying to think. So when's Blackpool?
Blackpool is in August.
So it's quite close. Okay.
So, I mean, let's talk about Blackpool. So what we've seen is there's not a great deal of content yet lined up for it. So you've got Connor Trinier. Trip, of course, from Enterprise.
Trip.
And I saw him the other day in, there was a Stargate
Tesco's.
Film, Stargate Origin.
Did you see him in Lidl? Was he looking at the MIG welder in the middle aisle of Lidl? I know you. You're the engineer from Enterprise.
I'm always tempted by the MIG welder when I see one for sale.
That and the scuba diving kit. Because I think I could probably find some treasure.
I am a qualified scuba diver. Well, actually, I'm a lapsed qualified scuba diver. I haven't dived in years. But I did pass the exams and the test and the practical.
Did you find any treasure?
No. I did find an octopus.
Oh, wow.
That was cool.
So I went snorkeling once when I was in Cuba. And I, back then, was quite a competent swimmer. And we were swimming through the mangroves. And I got a bit tired of I'll be blunt, the fat Americans that were holding up the line. So I decided to dive down and swim underneath them to get to the front of the line and talk to the tour guide. And I got up quite far ahead. And the tour guide said in not the best English to swim down as far as I could and have a look because there was something exciting down there. So I took a deep breath and I swam down and I looked left and right, couldn't see anything, looked right. And then suddenly there was just this big eye right next to me. And apparently it was a baby shark. Baby shark. It was a massive shark. Scared the absolute bejesus out of me. Anyway, sorry. I digress. It was a flashback and I'll forget about it otherwise. So, getting that age.
So, anyway, yes, coming back to the question of destinations, so we've got Connor Trinier, and thus far, there's one chap who I think might be a background actor in Strange New Worlds or possibly Discovery. And then there's three I'm going to say three cast members from the original series of Trek. So we're talking the 1960s series. They are, I believe, background characters who may or may not have had any lines. And lovely to think that they'll be there, but they're not really headline at the moment. I mean, not what I would call headline guests.
Yeah, and they've yet actually to confirm us as well. So at the moment, we're not going officially. So if anyone wants to put some...
We won't bother. We'll just arrange to go somewhere else.
If anyone wants to put pressure on them and ask what's happening about the Rikers beard, are they coming or not? Generally do need some confirmation on
If
that.
we're
Yeah.
not coming, you guys aren't going either, really, are you?
There'll be no Monica's Beard musical interlude. There'll be no Mr. and Mrs. quiz. There'll be no martial arts demonstration.
No beard after dark.
They won't be selling half the drinks they normally would at the bar. So yeah, please.
And you might miss out on our special Rikers Beard merchandise opportunities.
What's the name of that cretin who keeps trying to get himself invited on the cruises?
Are you talking about the actor Manu Intiraymi?
Yes, everyone do a Mano Interami on Joiner and tell him to hurry up and officially book us for.
We've met him a few times. Yeah,
Have we?
He's been putting. Yeah, I've met him several times.
When little.
he keeps posting online. Please, please invite me on the cruise. It's not the same without Echeb, and yeah,
I just had the best idea for. I've had a best idea because everyone's going to be a bit tired of Airlock 101. I've had a brilliant idea for a new game. Okay, what we'll do is we'll bring up a Star Trek actor, and the audience will have to guess what he was buying in the middle of Lidl. But we need a good name for it. What were you diddled in the middle of Lidl?
A little piece of the action.
Well, that's good. Oh, a little piece of the action. I quite like that. Because if it's like Geordie, you'd expect a MIG welder because he's an engineer, that sort of thing. We could try and make it themed. We should probably have this discussion off air. But it was so brilliant, I couldn't keep it to myself. So, Christoph says, Blackpool, the Vegas of England. They have gambling joints and trams. Oh, trams. Well, both. Well, it was the Blackpool football manager, wasn't it, who said that Blackpool's fantastic. It's full of transvestites and people wearing shell suits. One of the best quotes ever. I thought I must go there.
Now, what do I see there?
We've skipped a few bits. Yep.
Yeah. Not considered the best hotel.
Vicky's going to be around in Portsmouth that weekend. Fantastic. I mean, we've had Vicky fetch and carry for us before, and I found her to be very efficient.
She brought us big Watsits, didn't she?
God, they were massive.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a packet of Watsits that's basically a meal.
Yes.
Right. Yes, so I was going to touch on that. Did you go last year, James? Because I heard actually nothing bad about the accommodation at all. I heard it was okay. I was expecting to hear a lot of bad feedback, but I heard it was okay. Airlock for you, Manu. Well done, Linda. With that kind of creative punning, could you please come up with a name for our new Star Trek character in the middle of Lidl game that we're going to be playing next week? The Terok Norbrook.
Attention, Bajoran hotel guests.
I am proficient in providing
until morale improves.
It was fine and cheap. I'm not going to make a comment on that like I normally would because I haven't been drinking.
Assuming that they actually do invite us or they confirm our invitation, and assuming that we do go, did the guests stay at the Norbreck last year or were they somewhere else? Because we anticipate we might be put somewhere else. Probably
I had a look at the swankiest suites that the Norbreck had to offer.
Well, the ones that have got like running water and stuff.
And I personally can't see any of the guests staying there. I know a couple of people that are intent on going that have booked hotels elsewhere, but the flip side of that is, a lot of the fun is in the hotel, isn't it?
Well, it's in the bar or a bar.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone who stayed at the Custom House Hotel will know what I'm talking about.
Has anyone watching stayed at the Custom House Hotel?
Me.
David says, we stay down the road, but it's better than Birmingham for the drink price. Well, it's in the north. I've never been to Blackpool.
It's exceptionally expensive.
And didn't we drink? And we drank all their beer. I can't believe they ran out. Do you remember?
Yes, we had to say, well, what have you got left that we can order?
Yeah. Oh, we've got someone who did stay. Tell us what it was like, Mark. In particular, the breakfast.
Were there bars on the window?
Alan stayed at Custom House. Apparently, it was awesome. So, are we likely to have? Of course, we're in Portsmouth first, aren't we? So
we're in Portsmouth, then we're in Manston. If Destination pull their fingers out and actually confirm our rider, which involves things like M&Ms with all the brown ones taken out, then we'll be there. Otherwise, we might do something like Scarborough, because Scarborough have asked us to go in the past.
Yeah, Scarborough.
Sci-fi Scarborough.
That's the other side from Blackpool. That's over the Pennines.
It's also in the north.
Yeah, I've been to Scarborough. I was very young. Okay. So that's what's coming up. That's what you've got to look forward to. I hope everyone is listening to the Spotify playlist as we speak, practicing singing along, ready for Portsmouth, and well, we may as well do it at all the events we're going to.
Yes.
Why not? I've got this vision in my head of us walking out in our sailor outfits with our guitar and triangle as classical musicians, and we sort of walk up and bow, and turn and bow.
I think we did that when we did the first music.
I think we did actually. Yeah, I think it's quite well received. Yeah.
Both people who came, they enjoyed it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Breakfast was decent there. Well, that's promising. Well, although we probably won't be staying there, but we'll see. James is going to get on the Destination Facebook page and moan until they invite you. Well, this is the thing. We have been invited, but they've just
confirmation.
They just haven't confirmed. This is the weird thing with they're kind of leaving us in limbo, and we need to make plans because it's quite a thing. Getting the set up and down to Birmingham is enough of a thing. To Blackpool, it's going to be a huge thing. We need to plan it. It's going to be quite difficult.
A huge logistical ball ache for us to go anywhere as it is, but the far end of civilization.
Yeah, I mean, if there's an army of people in shell suits waiting at the other end to help, then that's great. But still, it's going to be absolutely, it's going to be very difficult. Did you ever own a shell suit, James?
Yes,
you did. What colour was it?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Oh, it was many colours.
Oh, you had like a rainbow one.
It was the Jason of shell suits.
What was the predominant colour?
Probably purple.
Oh, mine was banana yellow. And it had sort of green wings because they have a different colour on there. And here's the best bit. I really thought I looked so cool.
I've just had an idea, Richard. Oh, brilliant. Betty,
oh, no.
Betty, are you still in the comments? Perhaps Richard and I could have our special own Rikers beard shell suits that you could design and make for us.
I'm not certain how easy it is to make a shell suit, James. I don't think she has a time machine. A Rikers beard shell... I think I could make that. I think
just get a plain shell suit and paint it.
I think with the help of Temu, I think we should attend Blackpool in shell suits. Will the locals get really pissed off and think we're taking the piss? Would it be like that episode of Top Gear?
We haven't done a Wish challenge for a long time. Do you remember when we bought items off Wish?
Yes.
Let's see what would turn up. Gosh.
Maybe we should have a tumultuous Temu experiment challenge.
Yes, I mean, I've got a Temu account now. I got my fantastic tactical trousers from Temu. I'm very pleased with those.
Oh, I've seen your tactical trousers. They look they
pockets. It's wonderful.
You look very capable in them, James, I have to say.
This
Oh
just
my
in.
God. Oh my God.
Well, that means she's up for it.
I think so. Richard says, wife and I had matching white Eisenegger suit. I don't know what that is. So you'll have to elaborate. It's probably like a really posh shell suit. It would look like It would. It could be the Rikers Beard PT activity suit. It could be the Rikers Beard PT activity suit. All the chaps have to wear shell suits. All the ladies have to dress up like Troy and Beverly when they're doing their stretching.
Which, bizarrely, they have lots of mirrors around them.
Yeah. Oh, they're essential when you're... No, not really. When you're doing lots of stretching exercises and yoga and stuff, the more mirrors you have, the better, so you can check you're doing it properly.
I thought it was more for ballet, to be honest, but okay.
So it's very useful in like most martial arts halls. They'll always have mirrors along the wall, so you can check your form.
Look what's happened now. Look.
Oh, Alan's in now. Alan's like, do they do a shell suit in my size?
Alan, bless him, as soon as I let him know about that chap who played Mr. Hom has lost everything in the fires in Los Angeles, immediately has stepped up to the plate and is sending him a relief package, I believe.
Oh, really? Like a real one or like a god one?
Well, Alan, let us know what you're sending to Mr. Hom.
I mean, if you're just praying for him, if you're just sending thoughts and prayers, that's not really a package. But if you're sending like a tin of beans or something, that's really good. Thank you. That's really kind, Alan. That's lovely.
Ah, splendid.
Where will you fit it in, Alan, with the 52? He normally does a very quick change behind our set. He normally has like a few hangers behind our set. So I won't tell anyone where he keeps his stuff now. I should probably keep it to ourselves. People might try and steal his costume.
We keep our booze behind it, do we?
Or our blackjack and hooker tables.
Yeah.
So Alan made a donation. It's very kind.
I mean, don't forget that our shuttlecraft actually had a secret champagne bar inside it, but we only invited special friends in there.
I didn't get to go in there. Which is ironic, because I'm the only one that really fitted in there. It's actually, if I remember rightly, it got quite hot in there. Quite hot and sticky, didn't it?
I spent a while today looking at buying a new shed so that I can move the shuttlecraft out of my existing shed and get on with building some stuff in the existing man cave, where all my tools and equipment are. It's ironic we need an extra shed for that.
It's reminded me the reason why the inside of the shuttle was so hot was because of the champagne. Because do you remember we put my electric portable fridge in there, so it just blasted all the hot air into the thing. So we needed to design some exhaust vents into the back of the shuttle to blow out the hot air to keep our drinks cool in there.
Yeah, I've got a plan for that. Don't worry.
Oh, well, I won't if you've got a plan. I'm not worried at all, James. Not at all. Not at all. It'll be fine. Right, we've not got long left. Would we like to play possibly the last ever game of Vault 101? Oh,
God. Does that mean I've got to think of something and it can't be Section 31?
Well, next week we're going to be playing the Middle of Little game. So it's up to you. We don't have to. Okay,
right,
we'll do it then. Yep.
Left hand.
For your consideration, I would like to put into Vault 101 fake posters being made by fans. They really get on my nark. I mean, even before AI did them, and I understand a lot of fans put a lot of effort into making these fake posters of TV series they want to see. It just really annoys me because you're like, oh, that looks interesting. Oh no, it's just another bloody fan thing. It just wastes everyone's time. Please stop making fake posters for shows and TV series. It's just say how much you want them, do posts about them, suggest it in emails to Paramount. Very strongly, that's fine. But stop putting fake posters up on Facebook. They really get on my tits.
It's a good argument, eloquently put, well made. I was tempted to say, let's put Carl in Airlock 101, because then Alan couldn't vote for him every single time, even though he's not here. But that would be unfair, because I really like Carl. So maybe we should put Alan in Room 101. No, I like Alan, even though he's horrible to me. He's a big meanie to me.
I love Alan. He gives the best hugs.
I thought of this. The guy who designs and runs the holodeck, I think we should put him in Airlock 101, because the holodecks in Star Trek always go wrong. Always. Every episode with a holodeck, it's some disaster with the safety protocols have gone wrong. And they're not very safe, are they? They don't work, ever.
I'll just advocate that quickly. It's not going to be a very good episode when the holodeck was working, is it?
Well, all right,
so you probably don't, because you only get to see it for 45 minutes. You don't get to see it for most of the time it's working, and probably what happens on the holodeck stays on the holodeck. Is all I'm saying. But the safe, perhaps the chap in charge of its safety, the safety inspector, the health and safety inspector of the holodeck, maybe.
Whoever is responsible for the safety protocols needs to be sacked. Donald Trump would have some views on who he should be replaced by.
So
you got one job. You got to make the holodeck safe. Every time we see it, it goes wrong and people get hurt.
Didn't somebody even catch a cold in there once? It didn't make sense.
Well, somebody got shot. Good.
A ball got shot. So there we have it this week. If you would like to vote for fake posters in the comments, please put Richard. If you'd like to vote for the chap in charge of health and safety on the holodeck, please write James. You may cast your votes now. If you're watching this on a rerun, please don't vote because it won't count and you may still be charged. Well, the votes are coming in thick and fast, so we do the trusted fingering method, shall we?
I really want to see those fingers.
Okay, if you hold up your left hand for me, and not like Musk. No, okay, right. Okay, so let's start off with one vote for Richard.
All right, your left hand, right? Okay.
One vote for James. Another vote for James. Another vote for Richard. Another vote for James. Another vote. Of course, it's tight. Another vote for Richard. Another vote for Richard. Another. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with your hands, James?
I was struggling to do the fingers. There you go. There, 5. There.
What's wrong with your other hand? Have you been in an awful accident? What's going on?
I've got polio.
That's another one.
Hang on.
There's another one. Another. I think there's a clear winner, I'm afraid, James. Yet again. Have you ever won one of these?
I did win it once, yeah.
Did you? What did you win it with?
I can't. I think it was the Cardassian hats.
Oh, the crap hats from the first ever episode.
When they first appeared, they wore those bondage style.
They were completely impractical, weren't they? They didn't even cover the spoon. James says Riker was always turning off the holodeck safety for his kinky sex programs. You've been reading a book I haven't read.
Well, that's another argument for the AI, I suppose.
Another argument for the AI. Well, that's about all we've got time for this week. We'll say, I think, goodbye to Airlock
Trios
101.
uniforms.
Trios uniforms. Who are
Trio.
the
Trio.
trio? I want my trio. Yeah. Yes, we'll say goodbye to Airlock 101, and I shall prepare our new game. Who's shopping in the middle of Lidl? So, what are you shopping for in the middle of Lidl? We'll come up with something. Hopefully before February finishes. Who did the Pyro on frames in the same place? The
You
random
can't do
console.
Discovery, David. Yeah,
No,
the rules
no,
of Airlock 101 because
no.
it's too easy a target.
However, we can have Discovery actors looking in the middle of Lidl, for some decent dialogue or possibly acting classes. Awesome.
Michael Burnham is looking for some.
Michael Burnham's shopping for Optrex.
So, I mean, let's think about what we've learned this evening, shall we, Richard? I think we've learned that we're going to need the Rikers suits.
Because I'm doing Dry February, I thought we'd try and make this a sensible show and have a philosophical debate on AI and stuff like that, but it's just not worked out that way. I blame our viewers, if I'm honest with you.
Let me have one of them executed.
No, you've just given away another Barrowman DVD, you idiot.
It's a real shame because, a dear friend arranged to buy the entire supply of John Barrowman DVDs held by CEX, and he was terribly disappointed when it turned out that somebody stole them and they never got them. They
stole every Barrowman DVD.
Royal Mail stole them.
Yeah.
Maybe they used them for clay pigeon shooting or something.
But anyway, until next time, dear viewer. By the way, if you've been watching the show and you've enjoyed it, or even if you haven't, please give us a thumbs up or a heart emoji or the laughing emoji or something like that.
And the subscribe button.
And we'll look forward to seeing you all next Sunday. And please do look after yourselves and each other.
Yes, and don't have nightmares.